Welcome back to Crystal Clear Coaching, where I help you tune into you by tuning into me, but also just talking about tuning into you. Yeah, but I like to lead by example, in good ways and bad ways. And by the bad ways, I mean learning about what not to do, but also accepting you as a whole human being that isn't perfect and does things that in hindsight maybe wasn't the best idea, and makes mistakes but keeps on going towards those dreams of theirs, tuning into what's at their core, what's on their heart and soul. Yeah, I'll never claim to be perfect, and also how boring would it be to be perfect? In this world of AI coming on and trying to steal our art, give me the imperfections of someone who spent hours, days, weeks, years sitting with their art, cultivating that skill, learning the discipline to push through anyway, discovering happy accidents and joys and hardships along the way that then form what this piece of art means, or means to them, but then also then get to be interpreted by the audience, if there's an audience for this art, and take on a whole new meaning for a whole different range of people, probably different for every single person that comes into contact with it. Something that might move them in a moment where they deeply needed something to remind them of their humanity and that life is worth living, and there's beauty in the world, on the inside and outside. I love beauty externally too. A beautiful flower bed, a beautiful tree, a beautiful sunset, a beautiful person, a beautiful dress. I mean, clearly I like a beautiful dress. This is a skirt and a dress that I got today. Just a moment for the side note here. This is so Magical Fairy Princess, and I've been staring at it for ages, and I keep teasing everyone at work with it being a petticoat. Like, it needs to be a petticoat under things, and I try it on with all these different things. And today, the girls are just like, "Girl, just buy the skirt. Just buy the skirt. It's not even that expensive." So I did that, and then I got this dress also. Nothing's expensive. It's so cheap. $20 and $20. That's so good. And I get to model it for work. Now I have whimsy in my outfit tomorrow. I've got a little petticoat coming out, people red. It's going to be so fun to wear. And maybe I'll model and inspire someone else with my beautiful outfit that says, "Hey, what do you mean this is so cheap right here? This is so fun. I want some joy and fun and whimsy in my life. I want the beautiful things. So I'm gonna give myself the beautiful things." On the outside, but also on the inside, hopefully. Because that joy and whimsy that we get on the external beauty brings in the joy and whimsy on the internal side of our systems, of our minds and bodies and energetics and all the good stuff. So, yay. I know that was a full-on side note, but I was planning to show you that outfit, and it just seemed like the right time to do it. Yeah, just look, these little lacy bits. They're just kind of, yeah. I mean, this camera's not that great, but anyway, it's very exciting. I got so distracted by the beautiful things that I forgot what I was talking about, but that's about right. That's how I roll. Sometimes I describe my inattentive ADHD, undiagnosed, just resonates, as just a whole bunch of trains coming into the station any given time. Sometimes, we'll throw in some planes, some trains, some automobiles, there's some bikes, scooters, maybe there's a hovercraft, skateboard, I don't know, rollerblades. There's just a ton of this stuff just coming through the station constantly. And if I don't jump on that train at the right time and go with that train of thought, she gone. That's part of the beauty of showing up here and just speaking what I feel like speaking that day, because you never know what you're going to get. It's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. Okay, that's the nerdy film reference for you. Okay, clearly I'm very much myself. Yeah, the beautiful things in life. I think one of the most beautiful things in life is to feel that wonder and that beauty in life, is to find your gratitude for your life in any ways that resonate with you, but just having gratitude for different forms of beauty around you just makes you feel alive, doesn't it? Like, I don't know, somehow just got pulled in by my Facebook memories today, just before, when I was, here I am late at night again filming this video because I got distracted by the internet in general. I did actually have a lovely evening with some friends tonight, so that was good, and then I was supposed to go home and sleep because I was pretty sleepy at my friend's house, and anyway, still haven't done that. Got work tomorrow, doing a 6-day week right now, but hey, we make it work, and I'm finding the beauty in that because I love what I do right now, and I love who I work with, and all the things I get to wear and sell, and I find the beauty in the mundane. Well, I don't find it that mundane because I find the pockets of joy and whimsy within it, and the beauty. And I don't mean the beauty of, I never mean the beauty of the superficial. And some might say that fashion is superficial. Yes, that could be correct from some perspectives, but I dare say my focus really is on style, personal self-expression. And that is what's beautiful to me. Seeing someone walk in or try something on and it just feels like they light up from the inside out because it's just something that is so resonant with them and how they want to express themselves and be in this world. And that's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful thing. So, finding just the gratitude for the beautiful things we notice in our lives. And looking at my Facebook memories, I just felt immense gratitude for the continual courage I've chosen to have to step out of my comfort zone and move halfway across the world, or put myself forward for all sorts of crazy opportunities that in my wildest dreams I never would have gone for until I'd done enough work on myself to not make it mean too much reaching out to people that I was making too important before that. Not that they aren't important, but also I'm important and my dreams are important. So yeah, I yeah, I just like seeing that. So there was a whole bunch of memories that came up of me being, visiting Scotland, and these incredible photos that I have in the Isle of Skye where it's like super stormy weather and the wind is blowing, but I'm just like stoked out of my mind to be there. And like, you know, there's there's photos of me around the world in Italy, and with good friends, and just so many different places and wonderful people I got to meet along the way. And imagine if I never had the courage to leave home, how small my life would be in comparison. And in some ways, it's really hard because this is the fourth country I've lived in. I'm in Australia. And I'm a lot closer to home right now because I'm from New Zealand. But in some ways, I'll never feel at home completely again because I was completely at home in New Zealand, and then I left New Zealand back in 2013 and moved to the UK, and I lived there for 2 years and was missing home as in New Zealand. And then my visa ended, I moved back home to New Zealand, but I was missing my home that I'd created in the UK for a long time. And then, I spent a couple of years back in New Zealand and was like, well, I want to do the same in Canada. I went to Vancouver for 2 years um, and missed my home in New Zealand and also missed my home in the UK. It got easier at the time, the ones that, I didn't necessarily, or that I didn't grow up in, makes a big difference. But yeah, and then my visa ran out in Canada and I moved back to New Zealand, and now I had two other homes to miss. So on top of, and I was back home, and then now I'm in Australia, and parts of me miss all three. But I mean, on the most part, I miss the people, my favourite people that I got to meet in these places. And some of them aren't even in those places anymore, they're in other places. And some of them, have ended up moving close to where I am. Like, for instance, like I've got a high school mate that I met in New Zealand, went to school with in New Zealand, and we actually overlapped in our time in London, and now she's from Brisbane, and like, so she lives in Brisbane and I'm in the Gold Coast, so I see her more often now. And just like, I'm so grateful to have had the courage to live around the world, and I've got to be a citizen of the world. And the people that are meant to be in your life, sometimes they're meant to be in it for a season, and that's a beautiful season. And you can still also, whenever you go past one of your many homes, if you've travelled lots like I have or lived in different places, you can reminisce on that life and spend some time reconnecting with that life and still connect with them. But maybe it doesn't make sense day to day to be in lots of close contact because you only have capacity for so many relationships and friendships in your life, and that's okay. But like, I'm also so grateful and want the best for all those people that I've met along the way. I just, looking through my photos, I'm just so grateful that I had that courage. And the courage to do it on my own. Like, in my early 20s, I used to think, oh, I'd just like to find a partner to do it with, and then we can just do everything together. And in hindsight, I see how codependent that is, but it was also what society had taught me was supposed to be the goal. But I got to do exactly what I wanted when I wanted to do it because I went on my own. And there's times that I've travelled with friends and we've had a wonderful time and they've planned lots, and I've been really grateful for that because we got to see so much more. I got to see so much more than I would on my own because I just wouldn't plan that heavily. But then I also found it quite constricting sometimes because I just needed a moment to myself to chill and do my own thing and kind of meander a little bit. And, certain friends, I think they know who they are. And I love them still. It's fine. I've been honest about this. Certain friends feel, would feel like, what do you mean? You're going to leave me for an afternoon? I have to go to something by myself. And that's how they travel, and we travel differently, and that's okay. But also we traveled together and had a great time. It's just, you never know the dynamics of how you're going to travel with someone as well. So like you might find your most aligned partner, but you just have different traveling styles, and it's actually better that, well, you just have different interests when you're traveling places, and so if you just let each other have the freedom of doing what you want in those places, it doesn't not everything needs to be together. Make sure that you're booking some things together, because, it's kind of part of the fun of being with someone when you're traveling. But yeah, I'm just really grateful. All the life that I got to live because I was willing to completely uproot myself from where I'm from multiple times, to put myself in places where the opportunities would be different. You could say vaster, probably vaster. I am from a very small country of islands, far, far away from a lot of the world, so yeah, more opportunities for sure. And I love my home. Like, I love New Zealand so much. Such a beautiful place. And, I will end up back there at some point. But I'm just being open to what I want to do right now. And just doing something different. And, like, on the surface, coming to the Gold Coast, a lot of people are like, why are you moving to the Gold Coast? Honestly, I had no one solid reason. I just wanted to do something different. I happened to have done my coaching certification out of here, but I did it online, and so I knew a few people around this area, and just basically was like, well, got a good vibe of it for that, like, couple of weekends in person that I came over for my course a couple of years ago, and just felt like alive again after feeling a little drenched in the mundane back home. And like, I could cultivate having less of the mundane, or more of the life and aliveness in New Zealand for sure, but I just had felt a little bit trapped in financial situations and other things back home, and I've been very honest with people around me about this, but yeah, I just needed to do something different, and I got scrappy and found a way to do it. So I'm so grateful that part of me that chose to do that. So yeah, think of all the fun and joy I would have missed out on if I had just decided to wait for a partner that may or may not have ever existed or shown up, or B, just decided it was too hard and uncomfortable and just never stepped out my front door. I would be such a different person. Not that she wouldn't be worthy and wonderful too, and I'm sure she would have built some kind of other beneficial life to her, but at my truest core, I don't think I could have operated in any other way. Just showing up and following my authentic path. And sometimes I'm frustrated with myself because my authentic path has a lot of procrastinating in it. Putting off the things that I most want. But I have to trust that that's part of my learnings in the process too, and find my gratitude for that. Anyway, just basically want to come on here and talk about how grateful I am to have that courage. And, you know, also the courage I've had in so many ways to look at my shadows, to look at my internal map of the world, my internal system, and like ask good questions with curiosity and grow through that. Yeah. And I'm grateful also that I have this space, this channel now to share things that I've learnt and hopefully actually have it get to somebody else that might find it valuable. Maybe it's a lesson that you haven't learnt yet that you would love, that you didn't know that you didn't know. And being able to share in such a intimate way, but on such a scale, is actually kind of magical. So grateful for that. Anyway, hopefully I hit all my points. I will leave it there for tonight, and I will see you tomorrow. Hope you're grateful for yourself, because you're the best person in your life.